There are those people who have won the green card lottery, but they live in the United States of America. What are the processes should they go through in order for them to be able to process and to get their green card? The process of the people who are already in the United States are vastly different from the DV lottery winners who are outside of the United States of America. If you go to many YouTube videos or many places, when we are talking about the green card lottery winners, we are talking, oh, you have to fill the form DS-260. So, but are the winners of the DV lottery who are in the United States also going to file the form DS-260, or they're going to file using another form? Welcome everyone, this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM. I'm here today to provide this kind of information because I've seen few people who have won the DV lottery this year made some few mistakes here and there in the filing for their further processes after winning the DV lottery. And I don't want you, after winning the DV lottery, don't get it because of the fewer mistakes you might be having here and there, just because of the forms or just because you didn't know certain kind of processes. So number one, there are two things you need to understand. There are forms which are starting with the code DS. The form which has DS is a Department of State form. The Department of State form is the form is used at the embassy level. That means you are going to submit that at the embassy so that you can be able to come here. So DS-260 is the form you file at the US, in order to appear at the consular officer at the US embassy in order to get the visa to be admitted to be allowed to come to the United States. That is DS-260. If you are here in the US, you came here under a certain type of visa. Maybe, let's say you came as a student visa, you came as a tourist, whatever kind of visa you came with it. The form you used to file to come here, it was called DS-160. 160 is a non-immigrant visa. 260 is immigrant visa form. So overall, whether you came here with whatever kind of, but you came here basically with a form with the abbreviation is DS. That form is different from the form which has what we call I and then followed by a number. That means there are forms which are in different departments. Department of State, they are the one who are in charge of the embassies and consulates around the world. And they are the one making sure that you are going to be admitted to come in the US. Once you arrive inside the United States, you are inside other departments now, because there is no US embassy within the United States. So once you come here, you'll be under Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security. While you are here, any form you're going to file, whether it will be for OPT, whether it will be for adjustment of status, permanent resident, whatever form you're going to file while you are inside the United States, it will not have the word DS. It will start with I-certain number. I-485, I-864, I-134, I-130. So you'll have all the forms because these forms are under USCIS. United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. That is what you'll be dealing with. So if you are legally in the United States, you have won the DV lottery. If you file the DS-260, why are you filing the form DS-260? Are you going to appear at the US embassy to undergo the visa interview? Basically, no. But inside the form DS-260, there is one part, it asks you if you are going to fill that one. If you're going to fill that one, there is one part they're asking you, are you in the United States? If the answer is yes, they say you can do adjustment of status. Unfortunately, I didn't click that one, or the person who was filling that form is outside the United States. So I just showed, like, for those who have won, they are in US, you can do this one, you can create do that way. So I've seen there are confusions. Some people, they say, okay, go ahead and file the DS-260 first of all. But if you file, don't put the address of the interview outside of the United States, because you have to get out to go to that interview. But basically, the winners of the DV lottery who are in the United States, they have to use I-485 adjustment of status form. The same form you are using is the same form if for a student, if for a researcher, if someone with the H1 visa is filing, or if a person getting married to an American citizen, is any person who is in the United States trying to move from one visa type to become a green card holder. We are filling the same form. When I got married, applied for green card through marriage, I used the same form, adjustment of status, moving from F1 as a student to become a green card holder. So if you're in H1, you can move from H1 to permanent resident by adjusting. You are already in the system. You are just already playing for Lakers. So you are moving from becoming a guard, you are going to be point forward. You are moving from being like a midfielder, you are going to be defender. That's what you are moving. You are not moving the team from Madrid to another team. You are not moving from Arsenal to Manchester. You are already with the same team. What you do, you are reclassifying. You are adjusting your status, your position, from being a defender to being a striker, from being a striker to be attacking midfielder. That's what we are doing here. You are already in the team USA. What you are doing is just now you reposition. You are just maybe a reserve, or you are playing fewer minutes. Now you are going to be the big kahuna, you are going to be the big guy, you are going to be the main person by being given the green card. So we are giving you more responsibilities. So you are adjusting to a new status, but you are already in the team USA. That's the purpose of it. But there are a few things I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. And don't be surprised if these things happen to you and you're already in the United States. Number one, if you are out of status and you win the DV lottery, you are going to file the form adjustment of status. You will not be given the visa. That you have to know for sure. I know that, and I've known like 3 people that have been denied the visa because they are out of status. Second, I had a call with one person. They had a very tough situation. Some people, they're already here in the US. They are in different processes of getting green card. Let's say one person is in the process of getting green card. Let's say is teaching at the university. The university is going to file that person the visa under H1, from H1 to, it has been already approved, so now it's going to file the 485 adjustment of status. What that person is going to do, you already filed, or you are about to file the already green card based on the employment. And obviously, you cannot have 2 concurrent applications of the same status. You cannot file 485 2 times. You can't. Or let's say you have already filed for asylum in the US and you won the DV lottery. What are you going to do? Or you already got married to an American citizen and you are about to file, or you have already submitted the DS2, I mean the 485 for adjustment of status under marriage, and you won the lottery. What are you going to do? So those are some of the scenarios. Sometimes they are more peculiar, sometimes they might be general. So number one, if we can eliminate, you cannot do 2 applications at once of the same status, of the same form. So if you won the DV lottery and your employer has already filed for you for I-485 adjustment of status, you cannot submit another adjustment of status basing on DV lottery, even if you are in the US. You cannot be able to do that. Why you cannot be able to do that? Because unless others, you write to immigration, use USCSI, whatever, you write to them and ask them, I'm going to drop one and I'm going to put this one. That will be okay. You have to be very careful to make this kind of decision. Or the other way, you can be trying to play both ways because it's opportunity. You never know if I'm going to get the green card by employment. What if at the interview they're going to deny me? And what if I don't want to file this one, the green card by lottery? If it's by lottery, it's quicker, you can be able to get it than the other one. My advice to you is very simple. It's not illegal, it is part of the normal process. You can continue to leave that one, the work employment, green card based, you can continue to leave that one. And on the other side, you are going to file DS-260. You are saying, maybe I'm going to have the visa interview in Canada. You see? Meaning, it's a different form. It's DS-260, this is I-485. 485, I mean, whatever, 485. So they are not of the same form, though in the end, when you're going to get green. So if this one goes through quicker on work, you accept it. If it doesn't, they call for the green card lottery interview first. Obviously, you have to get out of US to get the interview, then come back to US. So that will be the one of the tricky way. But if you are filing, for instance, asylum and the green card lottery comes, it doesn't affect because there are two different forms. You can continue through the same process. Both they can be continued at the same time. So those are the two things very, very critical for people who are here. And the other thing which I want to give you a notice you have to understand, the third part is, you might be here in the US, you have won the DV lottery. Before you make a decision that I want to do the adjustment of status while I'm here, the first question to ask yourself is, where is my family? Am I married? Because you might be here as a student, or you might be here as H1 visa, under H1 visa, or you can be here as a tourist. But once you have won the DV lottery, you cannot just, oh, I'm going to adjust the status. But what about your children if you have kids? What about your spouse, your wife, or your husband? You have to be very careful to ask that question yourself. If your spouse is out of America, my advice would be better to put the adjustment of, better to file the DS-260 so that you can go in your country, do the interview, and come with your family together. Because you cannot be able to do the interview yourself, adjustment of status alone here, and then bring your children to be interviewed on a separate visa type, DS-260, to come here, because they cannot be accepted because they are not the winners on their own. So you have to be very, very tricky on how you make this kind of decision. If you don't understand, please ask me any question through a comment. I'll be happy to guide you on that one. But these are a few things I'm going to share with you. But before I finish, I want to make sure that I'm going to show you a screen on what I'm talking about, because some people, they might not believe, oh, maybe this guy is just talking about it. But I'm going to show you on the screen what that form says, and I have highlighted that form, and how to go about that form quick way, so that you cannot do any mistake. Because sometimes we forget people who are already in the US, and we are talking all people who want to come to US. But we forget there are people who have won the DV lottery, they are already here in the US. How can they be able to process the next steps of the DV lottery processes in order to become permanent resident here in the United States? So thank you, and continue to watch the rest of this video, where I'm going to show you my screen, and I'm going to show you where that form is, what is the instruction, and how to go about it. So, as you can see here on my screen, I'm talking about green card through diversity immigrant visa program, but for the people who are in the United States of America. So this is very, very critical for people to understand what I was talking about. What process does you have to go through in case you win the DV lottery, but you are here, because all the time we've been talking about green card for people who are outside and filling the form DS-260. But here, as I said, the form we are going to fill will be a little bit different. So I'm going to share with you here from the green card, the same website, which says, I'm going to share with you, if you go here on the eligibility criteria, it shows you which form you need to fill. For applicant to adjust his status under the V program, you must establish that you have been selected for the diversity visa under Department of State's lottery system, then have an immigrant immediately available at the time of filing the adjustment of status, which you are supposed to file the form, that one. And you must be admissible to the United States. So there are certain things which makes you not admissible. I'm not talking about that. The things which, despite of winning, you cannot be admissible. So basically, you can see here, the Universal Lottery winners legally residing in the United States apply through USCIS. That is where you are going to apply. You don't fill the form DS-260. There are, however, a small number of lottery winners each year who at the time of winning the lottery are residing in the United States in a non-immigrant or other legal status. For instance, you are a student, you are a researcher, you are here as a tourist visa, you are here on any other type of visa. For these winners residing in the United States, USCIS processes adjustment of status applications. The following information applies to winners legally residing in the United States only. So if you're not residing in the United States, don't use the form I-485 adjustment of status or application to register for permanent residence in the United States of America. So I'll go to click that form, but they will tell you about the visa availability, the evidence, what you need to file, the documents you need if you're in the US. So number one is you have to file that form. Then you need to have passport, birth certificate, medical examination and vaccination, copy of the non-immigrant visa, the visa you are having because you are here on the visa. You need to have that passport, and then the copy of the visa, the entry stamp, I-94, the arrival departure document, court record if you have ever been arrested. Then the information that the letter you have been, the first notification you have won the DV lottery, and then the visa fee, and if you have any admissible problem and you have to request for the waiver, that means then you're coming to do the applicable fees, which you will be able to do. So those are some of the important documents you need to have. So let me show you a quick show of this form, the I-485 application to register permanent residence or adjustment of status. So this form, you are supposed to file to use it if you are in the US. The good thing about the forms for the immigration, they give everything you need to have. So for instance, they tell you the form itself is this one. I'm going to download it. I don't know whether it will come out. Yeah, that is the form. It is very self-explanatory. You're going to fill, you are going to start here. The top one is not for you. You're going to fill, I will explain how to fill this form. But those are the things you are supposed to use to fill that form. But if you don't understand anything else, you are going to put the you're going to read the instruction. They explain you the purpose, everything about this one. So everything you need to have, and then they will go step by step by each question. What does that mean? How to fill, like number one, you have to fill this form into black ink. Don't use blue. Simple instruction, but you can type if you want to be the fillable form, you can get those one too. So they give you all the information question by question on how to file this form. But if you have any particular problem, please let me know. I can be able to guide you to make sure that you are going to file it correctly, where to file it and everything. Yeah, so this is the information where you are supposed to file if you have won the DV lottery and you are in the US. Remember, you must be in the US illegally. This is the non-immigrant or other legal status. If you are not illegal here, you are going to be denied that visa. So make sure that you are legally here at the time you process, and I've given you all the possible situations what you can be able to do to go through the application and the process to get this one. So thank you everyone. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will make you another video on how to be able to go about it and fill that form I-485. And I'll make another video to avoid the confusion between public charge versus affidavit of support, because that is another area where many people are getting confused. So goodbye everyone. Remember to subscribe.